What's going on, everybody? I just wanted to make this video to say thank you to everybody who's been supporting my how to get the studio look for free video. I've been getting a lot of reviews. It's actually probably my most viewed video in YouTube ever, so I'm super excited about that. I just wanted to make this quick video to show you guys how I edited these photos. So this one is like obviously a totally different feel in terms of like lighting, so it's a much softer light, much cooler light, and I already can tell, you know, just based on this photo that I'm gonna want to brighten up these corners a bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. And we're gonna move up here. And sorry, by the way, guys, that was the lens corrections. I just enabled the profile corrections and removed chromatic aberration. So now we're gonna move over to our white balance because I want to warm this up. So I'm gonna start bringing this. Let's see. Let's dial this thing in here. And my tint. Just try to move more towards the green. Here. Right in there. Let's toggle that back and forth. Yeah. Because there's a little too magenta in her skin tone, so I just wanted to kind of pull that back. There we go. Alright, moving on. Looking good. Just gonna try to bump this up a little bit because I want this one to feel definitely brighter for sure, since it's already got that kind of like whimsical, airy, soft feel anyway. And we're just gonna really decrease this contrast. So right there, remember, I'm kind of using the same method that I used for the other photo in terms of like flatten it out so that I can then bring some more contrast and stuff back in. I just like to have like a nice wide, what's it called? Wide dynamic range, if you will. All right, so moving on to highlights, we're gonna use the same technique. I'm just gonna try to bring in all that information that I can right around there. Same thing, go to my whites here. Gonna bring those in. I don't know what that was. It just popped up on the screen. I don't know if you guys could see that. But yeah, I'm just gonna really try to bring in as much of that information as I can. Somewhere around there looks good. And then we're gonna move to my shadows. And for this, since we already decreased the contrast there, I might as well try to bring a little bit of that back in here. Somewhere around there. That's pretty good. And I'm gonna do the same thing in the blacks. Just try to bring it in to about right there. And look at all the information we just got back. It's a lot to work with. I can't wait to get to the curves. Okay, so from here, I'm gonna do my saturation vibrance trick. Go ahead and desaturate it. And I'm gonna bump up that vibrance. There we go. So now that's giving me that flat, really flat look, and I'm really paying a lot of attention to these whites because I kind of just want to pull out all of those blues and all that, whatever color cast was shining on the white, so that I have something nice and even to work on. And obviously I'll be bringing the skin tones back. So let's get into these curves. Once again, the 3 points. And we're just gonna get right to these highlights. Now for this one, since it is like an airier photo. I don't know if airy, a lighter, more bright and airy photo. I'm gonna push these highlights, and some of them may end up blowing out, but it's just as long as the highlights on her skin don't blow out. It's not really about the garments or anything in this shot, so me messing around with that and seeing where my limitations are. Somewhere in there is looking pretty good. Now, gotta really finesse these shadows here. Don't want to have too much contrast, but I definitely want contrast, so let's see. All right, probably pushing it a little bit too much. All right. So now we got some nice highlights and shadows back in there. And just remember, guys, every time you add saturation, you're kind of increasing the contrast of the image as well. So it still looks a little flat, but we're gonna bring it out in just a second. We move on down to these HSL tabs here. Okay, so always, as always, starting with my saturation. So we start with these reds and just increase them, slowly bring the skin tone back. As you can see, it's coming back. I'm referencing her skin tone initially and seeing what that looks like. And the oranges, remember, these are like really drastic because the bulk of her skin tone is in this color range right here, so we don't have to push it as hard. In there. Yellows, I'm bringing all the way out. Greens, pretty much almost all the way out. Same thing with aquas. Blues, it's a lot of blues in here, as you can see, so I'm gonna bring those almost all the way out. I don't want to bring them too far out to where it looks like fake, since it is a lot of blue in there. But I'm gonna bring it out right there. Purple, you can see, like in this area, for sure, that purple showing up. So let's go ahead and bring that down around the same. Magenta, don't really see much happening. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit just in case. And now let's move over to the hue. So I want to adjust this just a little bit to try to bring some of that original, almost like a reddish undertone back in. It's looking a little orange-ish, or I don't even know how to describe it, but I just want to just bring her skin tone a little bit back. All right. Okay, yeah, you can see the bulk of it there. So I'm gonna bring this to like there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And let's see, yellows. Let's play around with this and see what it's doing. So this is really affecting the highlights. So I can kind of push these wherever I want them to go. So let's try it this way. I like the way that looks. Yeah, it's looking good. Greens. Push these. All right there, it's good. Not much there, so all right, I'll leave that there. Head over to luminance. See if I can bring some of that contrast back in. Since I really did push those highlights earlier. Somewhere around there looks good. To kind of tone those highlights down from that strong S curve I had earlier. Yeah, cool. And let's move on to split toning. So back in the day when I would edit, I really wouldn't use too much split toning, but it's kind of like an old technique, and I'm like starting to revisit it now, and really enjoy it for certain applications, especially stuff like this where you just want a quick edit and you want to get the feel exactly how you want it without having to do too much work with like luminosity mask and all that stuff in Photoshop. This is a pretty quick and easy way to do it, so I'm gonna go ahead and find me a nice warm tone here. Somewhere in there, it looks good, and let's just start bumping it up, up, up. About there. Yeah. It's kind of making my whites look a little bit more white and a little less blue, so that's nice. Highlights are looking good still. Move on to shadows. Try to bring some warmth into them. So saturation at 7, and that really just brought that warmth out of the shot. Love that, especially up against her skin tone. It's like almost like a complementary kind of thing happening. It's just helping to elevate the skin tone, which I'm all about doing. Sharpening. We'll leave this alone. It looks pretty good to me. Don't need to touch that. Now, I think we could push this image a little bit further. So I'm gonna head into some camera calibration. Now this, you can make like crazy drastic changes to like skin tone, and for the people that like that orange and teal feel, you can start to dial that kind of stuff in here, but I'm not gonna do that exactly. So like you can just see how much you can change this thing. So you have to be really careful with this, but I'm just gonna make some minimal changes here to kind of just make this image pop a little bit more. So I like to use my keypad for this to kind of help dial it in exactly how I like it. So -12 looks good there, and then just gonna try to boost it up. Keep going. About right there, looks good. So it's just like a little boost there, as you can see. I'm gonna head over to my greens, and let's see what this does here. Oh yeah, so we don't need much of that there. I'm gonna head down to the blues. I always like to test the sliders to see what effect it's gonna have on my shot before I start. Like, I always like to bring it to its extremes to see like what it's really doing. And that's, I mean, I love what that's doing to the skin. It's like almost like reviving it. It's pretty cool. Obviously we don't want it to look too forced, so we'll just do it like around 10 or so. That looks pretty good. And let's do it before and after. Before, after, before, and after. Let's do a full screen of that. So yeah, I mean, it's minimal edits, I would say. Like nothing too drastic, no heavy curves or anything like that. But I mean, it just allows this photo to really shine like the aspects that I wanted to shine. I wanted the whites to be like clean and crisp. I wanted her skin tone to really stand out. So I feel like with this edit, I mean, you just can't beat it. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely check out those presets listed in the description below as well. I have an online video course that you can sign up for. The link will be in the description below. That will teach you everything you need to know about smartphone videography. So if you're into that kind of thing, definitely check it out in the description below. Also, if you like this video, definitely drop a like, comment below. Let me know what you liked about it. Let me know what else you want to learn. And definitely subscribe if you want to see more content. Thanks so much for watching.